May dali, be. Pakita dito sa video. Be. Say hi. Hi, guys. Hey, guys. Ugaw ko, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I know that you have all been waiting for this video, and I'm so sorry because I got quite tired and I have been running around figuring things out because it is finally happening. My visa has been approved after over 18 months from application, and as you can tell from my background, I am on the countryside, so you will be hearing random roosters shouting in the background, as well as my dog, which his breathing, you can actually hear him breathe because he's a pug, and pugs are just like that. So anyway, in this video I'm going to share with you guys my experience at the US Embassy Manila. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first we will start off with the timeline. If you haven't watched our K1 playlist, I will link it down below. Please make sure, if you are on the same path, to watch those videos because I shared there, and the rooster agreed with me, I shared there our progress from the beginning when we filed our petition up until this very moment. So we started this process back in April 8, 2022, and September 13, 2023 was my interview and I got approved, thank God. So it took over 18 months, I believe, if my math is correct, to get us to this point right now. And it wasn't an easy process. It was very lengthy and at the same time stressful, you know, and all the K1 fighters out there would know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's our timeline. And today, as I speak in this video, today is September 16. So 3 days after I got approved, I am here. So to share with you our experience. And last night I tracked my passport. It's already with LBC because after your interview at the embassy, so you get approved, your status changes into issued, and after that someone from the embassy will be in contact with you via email, and then they'll give you further instructions on what to do, like for example not opening the yellow packet, as well as the tracking of your passport if it has been sent, or you know where it's currently at. You can rightfully do so by visiting the website of LBC. So go to their tracking page and enter the tracking number that will be emailed to you by the US Embassy Manila. So with that said, I'll walk you through my experience at the embassy. My schedule was 6:30 in the morning, and apparently it was the first schedule. 6:30 is the first schedule at the US embassy interview. And I was there 5:45 in the morning. It's because my Airbnb was actually just across the US Embassy. The name of the condo is Grand Riviera Suites, and literally it's just across the embassy. So I would highly recommend that if you have an upcoming interview at the US Embassy, to book there because it's hassle-free and you don't need to rush in getting up in the morning for your interview because it's actually just right across. So when I got there people were already lining up, and there was a line for immigrant and non-immigrant applicants. So at the entrance there will be, I don't know what they call them, but I'd call them usherettes that will do a screening of your documents. Initially they will ask you, this is at the entrance prior to getting inside the US Embassy, they'll ask you to provide your passport, your appointment confirmation, and then your DS-160. So those three things. And if you are able to provide those, you will be directed to enter the X-ray area, or the screening area, where they screen your bags and whatever you have with you, or yeah, basically they will screen you. You will go through a machine making sure that you didn't bring anything that's not allowed to bring inside the embassy. So after that, there's going to be another line for pre-screening. So this time, it'll be with the Filipino consul. What's good about the embassy is because there's a lot of ushers and usherettes, and you will not be lost in the process because they're there to guide you, and they're very, very, very friendly. You know, contrary to a lot of horror stories that we see here on YouTube about what happens inside the embassy, it's really not that scary because the people are friendly. But the fact that you're gonna go through an interview and you're there, it's like a make or break for your life. It is kind of I wouldn't say scary, but what's the right word for that? Kuyaw. Kuyaw. Kuyaw is Bisaya. I don't know, is that scary in in English? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's not the people there are not intimidating at all. So yeah, so once it is your turn to go to the pre-screening window, I was assigned to window 56, and it was a Filipina consul, and she was very, very, very friendly. She asked for my passport, my DS-160, original birth certificate, original certificate of no marriage, NBI clearance, the SLEC brown envelope, and the divorce decree, and lastly, the two pieces of visa photos. Yung pinaka na-stress ako is sa part ng divorce decree because my copy of the divorce decree is like a photo that I printed, because all this time I thought the divorce decree that we had was good to go, but it wasn't a certified true copy. So I asked my fiance to go to the courthouse, is that what you call it? But it's where you get the thing certified, and we were running out of time. There was absolutely no time left before the interview, before he could mail the divorce decree to me. So what we did is just he took a very clear copy of the photo and then sent it to me, and I printed it. So the first thing the Filipino consul did is she took the paper, she touched the bottom left portion of the paper because she was looking for that seal and it wasn't there. So I told her that, ma'am, I'm sorry, that's only a picture that I printed. I don't have the original copy. And then she grinned and asked me, he didn't send it to you? I'm like, no. So I wanted to justify my case further, but I figured that, you know, my reasoning could be wrong, so I just left it there. I just said no. But she took it anyway, and she just stapled and took the divorce decree with her. Well, the thing is, I saw a lot of content on YouTube and on TikTok that they got 221G because of the divorce decree, because they did not bring the original divorce decree. Well, my divorce decree, the one that I provided, was not original. It was a photocopy, but the seal could be clearly seen on the photo. So I guess that's what mattered. And then she also asked me a few questions after taking in my documents. These are the questions that she asked. She had me state my full name and my birthday, my mailing address, the full name of my petitioner and his birthday, and just 4 more questions. Has he been married before? When did you know him first? Or when did you first know him? When was the last time you saw him in person? And how many times has he visited you? Those are the 4 questions that she asked me about my petitioner. And then she directed me to the biometrics window. So this is another window where your fingerprints will be taken. And the lady there was an American consul. She was also very nice. And she took and kept my DS-160. So all throughout this process, I only had 1 copy of my DS-160, and also it is just the confirmation page. So after my fingerprint scanning, I was directed to take my seat and wait for my name to be called. Like 20 minutes later, it was time for the final interview with the American consul. And then, so I was part of the first 4 applicants that was called in, because there was several windows, and I was on Windows 63. Yeah, Windows 63. He was a male American consul, and take note guys, the only thing that he asked me for was my passport. So I walked up to him, I walked up to his window and greeted him good morning, and then he said good morning back, and then he asked for my passport. He went through my files, like the files that I sent earlier to the Filipino consul, and then he proceeded to asking me for my full name and my birthday, as well as my address. And then after that, he made me raise my right hand. He said something which I didn't understand, but I know that it was like the oath taking part, and I just said yes. And then after that, he asked me the following questions. Are you single and never been married? Have you worked abroad before? What is the full name and birthday of your petitioner? What is his US address? What is the work of the petitioner? Has he been married before, and how many times? Have you been involved in any crime? How about the petitioner? How long have you known each other? When have you last seen your fiance in person? Do you have kids together? Do you plan on getting married within the 90 days of your arrival in the United States? Of course, I said yes. And I just answered all his questions. Whatever he asked, I gave specific and brief answers. And then there was a moment of pause, maybe about 30 seconds. He grabbed 2 pamphlets, and then he said, you're all good. Your passport and your visa will be delivered within 1 to 2 weeks. Good luck on your journey in Indiana, and welcome to the United States. At that point, I was shaking. I was teary. I wasn't shaking when he was asking me the questions. I was shaking when he finally told me, welcome to the United States, and handed me over the pamphlet. First of all, I brought this much documents, like this thick. He didn't even bother to look at them. He just asked for my passport. No financial documents, no I-134, no taxes, no job verification, whatever. None whatsoever. He just took my passport. No one freaking looked at my proof of relationship. Like, nasaan ang hustisya, besh? But anyway, I'm not complaining. I was just so happy. And yeah, so I went in at 6 a.m. because apparently they let you in like 30 minutes before your scheduled time, and I was able to finish the whole process at about 7:30. So it's that quick. After an hour, I already knew that, the decision that they made, and that they approved my visa, and I was just so happy. It was like the happiest moment. I was happy, but at the same time, I was like, it's all dawning into me right now, like this is happening. And this part is another story, which will drag this video like forever now. So I'll make another content about that. But yeah, so that was it. It was a very smooth process because everyone there was so helpful, and there are a lot of usherates that will help you. So it's really all good. So you just need not to worry, and don't bring any what do you call this, baggages in your head, emotional baggages. Your mind needs to be clear, so you're able to answer the very simple questions that they will ask you. All right? And of course, we will not end this video without tips and notes from me, if in case you are gonna have your interview at the embassy anytime soon. So these are the practical tips that I hope you can take away from this video. So number 1, come 30 minutes before your interview schedule, and there is absolutely no need to come earlier than that, because they will only start admitting people 30 minutes before the schedule. It's very mainit outside, so it's not recommended to come like 2 hours before your schedule. 30 minutes is absolutely enough time. Okay, so number two, ball pens are not necessary. There is nothing in the process inside that would require you for a ball pen. Like, there are manongs and manongs outside that would sell you ball pens and would also even offer you to keep your phones and your gadgets. So I do not recommend for you to do that. So yeah, no ball pen necessary, and leave all your electronic devices and not even an Apple Watch. Okay, I came in like this to the interview. I just had my ring and my earrings and my folders. That's it. I didn't even have a bag. I had a 500 pesos in my folder just in case I needed money, but apart from that, that's all I took with me. So para wala nang hassle, don't bring unnecessary things, all right? So water or liquids is also not allowed. Anyway, you'll only be there inside the embassy for an hour. So I think you can survive an hour without your water. Also, there's no need to be in a super formal business attire. Just come as you are. Just wear, something at least presentable. You don't have to be so extra about it. It's more important that you're confident and comfortable with what you wear. There's also no need to make lots of copies, like copies for your NBI, birth certificates anymore, because they will only take the original copy, and they will also just take one copy of the DS-160, which is only the first page, the confirmation page. The sigurista me, made like 2 copies of everything, which is fine. That's why my folders were this thick, because I had 2 copies of everything. Imagine that. But it was completely unnecessary. But I'd rather come prepared so that I don't have to scramble looking for photocopiers. But I'm telling you now, there's no need to photocopy anything. 1 copy, original copy of each, is absolutely fine and good to go. See, the rooster also agreed with me. And also, I would highly recommend that if you can, bring an original copy of the divorce decree, one that's with a wet ink and one that is sealed. So the original copy, because my case might have been different, because they just took my copy, which was just a photo. But if you search on YouTube and on TikTok, a lot of them got 221G because of the divorce decree. That needs to be an original copy. And also watch testimonies as much as you can, so you could have a feel of how it's like to be inside the US Embassy. I also did watch a lot of videos like this to help me understand and get myself familiar with the process. But at the end of it all, just really relax, come in prepared with all your documents, and just pray. If it's God's will, it will happen, and just trust His process. All right, so I think that would be all. I think I covered everything that people have been commenting here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. So thank you guys so much for following our journey, and I hope to see you guys again when I get my yellow packet and my passport. Please do leave comments if you have, so we can address them in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!